This winter, I had the good fortune of taking a ski tour over in the European Alps. This particular tour was the Urner Haute route. There's lots of great classic high routes in the Alps. This one happens to be in Switzerland, and it's known as the skier's route. Why is it called the skier's route? Well, because generally it's done from the south to the north. So you have these nice, long, steep approaches from the south side, and you drop into the north side where the snow is kind of held a little better. Or if you're lucky enough, you get lots of powder. We had 6 meters in 3 days, so we had plenty of snow. I was also fortunate enough to test out a couple new products that I brought along, well, new to me, and some of them brand new. One of them was this Raide pack, which just came out this year. It's one of the lines of light packs that are coming out. My old pack was a little bit small. My old touring pack was a 32 liter. This particular one happens to be 40 and will expand to a 50 liter pack. It's made of pretty lightweight materials, a lot of stuff you can get on the website, and it's pretty rugged. I was a little hesitant to jump on board because I don't really like buying a first year product, even from an established company. Generally with a lightweight pack, what you get is a lightweight suspension, and hauling a lot of weight with a lightweight suspension can be super painful and just make the pack unusable. But I'm happy to say this pack actually performed really well. It skied very well, even with the weight. I didn't notice it really at all, and it was easy to sling around. It's super comfortable, fully loaded. Actually, I never really got it up to the 50, but definitely over the 40. But let's get into some of the features of what it actually has and why it works and why it didn't, and what I had in my pack for this particular tour and what I wish I brought along. Anyways, from the outside, you have a couple axe sling pockets. This has got a nice little fast release, fast X, and so you can pull and deploy your ice axe fairly quickly. If you're having to boot up a couloir, you can easily stow your poles behind your pack and back and be able to pull your ice axe out quickly without having to pull your pack off. Also from the outside is a cute little stash pocket where you can keep snacks and whatnot. So it's pretty slim, somewhat short, so you can kind of keep a bunch of small items in there that you want to get quick access to. After that is their helmet carry, which is kind of neat. It works really well for the 40 liter. Once you start getting this thing packed up to a 50 liter, it does expand to that. It will still hold your helmet, but the usability or the retention of this system isn't quite what it would be with the 40. Like, this thing's not going anywhere, which is really nice. The reason why I like this particular design that he came up with, I like carrying my skis in a diagonal or European carry in general. Sometimes I'll do an A-frame, but in general, diagonal. And with a low set helmet, you can't do that. That being said, generally your helmet should be on your head. It doesn't do much good on your pack. It's like riding your Harley with your helmet on the back. When you crash, it ain't gonna save your noggin. Anyways, pack, felt pretty secure about keeping my goggles. My hat would be on my head. Generally I wore this the whole tour, so it wasn't really an issue. But with my goggles, I could easily stash that into this next section of the pack, which is kind of cool. This is generally where I kept the skins and volet strap, but this guy goes all the way down. You can store a bunch more stuff in there, and that gives you access to your avalanche gear. This is, holds a full complement of Avi gear, saws, cornice cord, probe. I like a D-grip in there, so that's pretty good. This is the expansion part of the pack, which is pretty neat. That opens up. The roll top will get a lot bigger. The really kind of neat thing is if you have it in a smaller configuration, you can tuck stuff in here and it's not going anywhere. Turning around to the other side of the pack, you have a full zip out. Now this isn't new. I put these on packs back in the 90s after seeing some photo packs that had this, and it's really a great feature. So when you put your pack down, you're not putting the back of the pack into the snow. Everything's available. Zips open. Quick stow pocket here for compass. I got a wire mesh for incidents and accidents, maps, and just other small items that you may want to keep close at hand that aren't going to be too bulky in your back. Jump into the pack. Things that I wanted to get quick access to were, I had batteries. Basically it's a lithium ion fireproof bag that I use for transporting batteries. I just had this, so what I would do is just take this and then just add like a toe warmer for a little bit of heat. Make sure the toe warmers aren't expired. And then inside of that, of course, a harness. Generally would have this on, but if you didn't have it on, you'd have quick access inside the pack. GoPro bag, or just whatever cameras, sundries that you would have. Light which would either be on your helmet in the morning or, like I said, you could stow it inside. Crampons, boot crampons. Need those for when it gets dicey, if you're punching up a couloir and things are kind of a little sketch. Always good to have those. Bivy sack, just an emergency bivy. Pack's really small, super lightweight. And then when things go sideways, I always like to have one, even when I'm hiking. It's just always nice to have something in case somebody gets injured. Ski crampons, crucial for the mornings, especially when things are crunchy. I wrap mine around my first aid just to kind of save space. They fit nicely around my first aid kit. This is not the fastest way to get your ski crampons in and out of a pack for a quick transition, but I'm not a ski-mo guy, so I don't really give a crap. Anyways, just packs down super nice and super tight, and I've got all my first aid with me all the time. Your guide may have that, but just in case something happens, like I said, things go sideways, you've got it on you, and you're ready, and not relying on somebody else. Gore-Tex, don't need to say anything else about that. Puffy, for when you're stopping, just to be able to throw on a nice warm layer. Always good to have, you always need to have your puffy just as a little bit of backup to maintain warmth. Hydration, had a quart of water. They suggested a thermos. I don't always tour with a thermos, but when I do, people are very happy whenever you take it out and you've got some nice warm drink to share with somebody. Most of the huts, all the huts have some sort of tea, or what they call tea. It's basically like a watered down, I don't know, herbal cross between herbal Kool-Aid, whatever, that's warm, that you can put in your thermos. Something warm to drink. If you don't want to have all the weight of a thermos, just another like 20 ouncer or a collapsible bladder would be fine, not with a hose in case it freezes, but anyways, so the thermos was something that's good to have. Warm pair of gloves in case things happen and your hands get cold, you know, that's always a good thing to have. And then stuff for the hut. So I generally had just a warm shirt in case it was super cold. I'd wear this as just a heavy duty capelline, and extra pair of grungies and extra pair of socks in case things, you know, go wrong. So this is kind of the divider between the pack. This is kind of an interesting little piece. Basically, they put this divider in to keep the wet contents of your Avi and snow gear away from the interior of the pack, and put the slot in here to take the throat of a shovel. This shovel works okay. My trusted old Volet shovel that is at least going on 3 decades old did not fit because the throat was too tall. Not that it was the angle was too steep, but that the throat was too tall. I couldn't actually get it through this slot hole. Granted, a lot of people don't use these shovels anymore. I like it because I love a D-shaped grip, and it's been just a stellar shovel for a really long time. You make a good product and it lasts, and you just hold on to it. This particular slot I found was more useful for like extra bars that I didn't need, or extra things, small things like that I wanted to keep in the pack and just kind of keep handy, like my light. Don't care if that gets wet, but I always know where it is inside the pack. So that was kind of handy. Then the side pocket here holds a phone, but I don't really like putting my phone in there. Usually just have like lens wipe, some sunscreen, goo packet in case you're bonking and you need something really quick. That was generally really super helpful. The thing that I kept my phone in was this guy. This is called a Thermo Poc. From Norway. Ooh. I got this for my daughter for Christmas and she didn't use it. And this thing is awesome. Man, it'll keep your phone warm through an Arctic winter. And it's just a nice little down cozy. Yeah, it's one more thing you gotta kind of pull your phone out of. I usually would just keep it in a breast pocket, or you know, as far away from your avalanche transceiver as you could. I usually keep mine on my thigh, so it's definitely far enough away. But really great product from Nordic skiing. Was awesome because you could just keep your phone in your back fanny pack, and it would just keep it warm through a pretty long slog and really cold temperatures. In general, the pack performed really super well. This flip down was really nice. I have a low pro photo pack that will fold, which is super convenient because then you can only open this much, or have to open this much, and you can access this part of the pack without having this come out and all of your contents kind of out and about. The other thing was, these buckles are great. Undoing, all I would do is gloved hand or mittened hand, and it just slips right off super fast. They are a bugger to try and find sometimes to get them clipped in. They don't like to go and align really super quick. So that's going to take some practice trying to get that guy in there. There we go. You got to hit it just right. But with gloved hands, you don't have that tactile that you do with the raw fingers. And then this metal buckle, which then again, it's super good contact, nice, but it's just finicky, man. The old plastic Fastech buckles work great. Man, I don't have an airbag on here. I just need to make sure that it's going to hold. The Fastech buckles on all my other packs have been lasting for, you know, decades. It hasn't really been an issue. Great little pack, super comfortable. And it was, the suspension was really great. Love the access back here. This is perfect for stashing like another jacket quickly so you don't have to get into your pack. Now let's talk about some things that I wish I had brought. So maybe just a t-shirt, because some of the huts are warm when you get to them, and then they turn off the heat, everybody goes to bed, it gets cold. The one big thing I think was a pair of shorts. Nobody said bring shorts. I'm like, it's wintertime, you know, you're in a hut, you're in the Alps. A pair of shorts would have been nice just to kind of climb out of my dank long johns and ski pants. Yeah, but beyond that, you know, 5 days, it didn't really bother me that much, but that would have been probably the one luxury I think I would have brought, and they wouldn't have taken that much room. Anyways, the pack performed really well and had a great time. I suggest if you haven't done the Urner, get on it next year.